Welcome to Soul Ties Karmic Recall with David Dimitri. Edutainment, expression for liberation, and all you vibrating higher consciousness. Peace, benevolence. It's me, David Dimitri again. One love. You know how we do it. Hey, it's Soul Ties Karmic Recall again. It's about your soul. We all in the panpsychic field connection. We all one love. Be water, my friends. You know, we coming with the consciousness, the African consciousness, because right now what we're seeing worldwide is a shift of power. And so, you know, we're getting in our roots and we're keeping it real. Today we're here with La'Nae Norwood of United Nations of Consciousness. United Nations of Consciousness is a non-profit organization. It's a non-governmental organization created and started in 2015 in the city of San Bernardino, California. La'Nae Norwood is the CEO and creator and co-creator of United Nations of Consciousness. The non-profit United Nations of Consciousness. Contact La'Nae Norwood. And let's let her tell you more about it.
Yeah. Thanks for that, brother. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you for bringing your beauty. We need the sisterly love and the sister power here and the queen power, you know?
Ashe. Thank you so much. We just happy to connect with other like-minded organizations to spread the unity amongst our people and take our people towards liberation. So United Nations of Consciousness, we're a non-profit grassroots organization headquartered here in San Bernardino.
All right.
Our goal is to unify, educate, and support the African American community, all people of African descent, through economic growth and development. That's the way to our liberation. We have to have economic bases.
Right.
We got to trade with each other. We got to spend our money black. We got to import, export, and we got to patronize our own businesses, get back to our own manufacturing, our own reselling,
We have to.
and really cut out the middleman of the white supremacists and get back to our African roots of doing business with each other.
Right.
So that's who we are as an organization. We're active in the community, doing grassroots movements right now, looking to expand broader, eventually to nationwide.
Okay.
Building the blueprint and the model right now so it can be duplicated and taken to every major city across the country. So, and we're also building ties right now directly in the motherland in Africa, West Africa.
Is that right?
Yeah, so
that's stupendous.
Yeah, we actually just attended the African Global Economic Development Summit at USC through Global Green Development Group, and that was pretty amazing. We made some great connections with people directly from the motherland.
Right.
Learning about how to do business over there and the red tape that we have to go through and the best practices. So it was some great information to get us moving in that direction.
That's awesome. Well, I would like to learn more about that. And you know what? You could be my go-to person because we're in the city of San Bernardino, and that's what's so great about it. I want y'all out there to know, city of San Bernardino has a lot of grievances and a lot of poverty and a lot of mental problems, psychological and spiritual problems, just like the rest of the nation. In fact, the city of San Bernardino is one of the most bipolar places in the United States of America, because you have a wretched poverty forced and sustained unto the African American community and some of the Hispanic community and some of the white community. It's wretched poverty here, because what happens is there's a cycle of imprisonment of almost all the males that grew up poor. And so you have neighborhoods that have never seen positive peacefulness. Gun clapping all the time, you know, blood spilling. And the self-hate is really treacherous in the black community in the city of San Bernardino. You know, there's not only places in big cities like Detroit and Chicago and DC and Atlanta and LA. These aren't the only places where black people suffer these things. Sometimes it happens in the rural and sometimes in small cities, and San Bernardino is one of those cities. So this is what's so great about what Sister Norwood is doing with United Nations of Consciousness. And I want it to be recognized, those of you where you're at in the nation, and internationally, you know, on my Facebook and on my YouTube, I have people all over the world, because, you know, I lived in Jamaica, I lived in South Africa, Zimbabwe, and all these places. So I want y'all to recognize this sister, hit her up, friend her on there, and any way that you can give ideas and support, we're here for. We're going to be working together, and we're trying to make it here with the front right here in America, in San Bernardino. I'd like to ask you about what are you doing in the communities? Because I've seen so much stuff online and that y'all doing in newspapers, and I've even seen you at events.
Right.
So I'm like, wait, they mobilizing, they organizing. Like, what is it that you're actually doing?
Yeah, great question. We definitely believe in organization and planning. You know, a lot of times with a lot of our Pan-African groups or our African liberation groups, they miss the most important part, which is you have to plan, organize, and get resources before you can mobilize.
Yeah.
So that's probably why we've been very successful our first year. Our biggest outreach is Adopt a Community Project.
Yeah.
That's our weekly outreach where we have implanted ourselves into a predominantly African American neighborhood.
Okay.
The philosophy with that is to adopt and reach our people one neighborhood at a time.
All right.
So we bring a plethora of resources to our people.
Is it?
From Prop 47, criminal, felony reduction, misdemeanor reduction.
Wow. All
And,
right. It's cool. We get sound effects.
Right. That's sound effects. Sorry, that's my cell in the background.
It's all right.
But criminal expungement, because you know these are rejects to society. When you're a felon, you can't do anything. So we have to start with the basics and get our people to take care of the fundamentals first before they can be effective in this movement.
So contact United Nations of Consciousness to help. So it sounds like what you're doing is prevention programs and reintegration programs.
Right. We definitely, what we want to do is mentor our people to get back active in society and get out of the survival mindset.
Yes.
And get into the mindset of, you know, sustainability and generational wealth. Like, what are you doing for your kids' kids' kids? So you have to be an active member of society. You know, we know we're under the white oppression in America, KKK, so it is what it is.
It is what
but
it
you
is.
Still have to operate within the system, and you have to operate strategically. You can't do that while you're on parole or a felon or on paperwork. So starting off with that as a foundation, getting people's backgrounds cleaned up. We also help with free GED, high school diploma classes.
See, that's big.
I mean,
United Nations of Consciousness.
What can you do professionally, you know, without having at least your high school diploma? So we feel like we want to make that affordable, accessible, you know, to our people.
It sounds like y'all bring upward mobility to the most disproportionate African Americans, I say, in California.
Exactly.
Because San Bernardino basically has the most,
yes,
of all of California, if y'all want to know. So if y'all want to know why sometime on Facebook I talk the way I do about being from San Bernardino, because I got stories that you wouldn't believe, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's very rough, you know?
Statistically, we have one of the highest unemployment rates, one of the highest poverty rates across the country.
Yep.
Actually, San Bernardino is on the top 5 worst cities in the country.
Yes.
So
it's the third worst.
It's the third.
And the only reason I say that it's only the third is because it's so much smaller than the other two, who is Chicago and Detroit.
Right.
So look at and I lived in DC.
Right.
I visited Chicago, Detroit. I've been all over the world. San Bernardino should not be matching any of 4 of those 3 cities. But because how small San Bernardino is, but that's how treacherous it is.
Yeah, it's one of the murder capitals.
Right.
You know, we got a lot of black on black crime. Our brothers out here killing each other, not understanding that that's your brother. You know, you never want to take a life of another black man unless you absolutely have to in self-defense.
Right.
You know what I mean? But, you know, there's just a really bad energy in this city that needs to be changed and kind of brought about and bring some light.
Time for a commercial break. For small and medium-sized businesses, Strategic Nexus Media provides perfect media service needs. Communicate through the website soultieskarmicrecall.com and call 714-905-9148.
Bring some light.
Are you originally from here?
I'm originally from LA, but then we moved out to Rialto area, so I've been around here for quite some time.
All right, well check this out then. This is one I want to bring up. Let's go back to the American Native curses.
Okay.
And there's a saying about the city of San Bernardino, and I know Satanism is real. Everyone have beliefs. I have friends that are atheists. I love them just as much as someone that's a believer. I'm a believer. I'm not a Christian or a Muslim, but I'm a believer. I believe in God. I believe in the ancestors. I'm going to leave it at that. But I also know for a fact, growing up with all kind of people, even some that were Satanists, that Satanism is real. And I believe the old stories they said about San Bernardino, that it was the killing grounds, that the white people were slaughtering the Indians, and that them same white people took the power here to do that. Not all white people. I don't even want to discuss race that much. I don't want to get you guys thinking this is a racial discussion. This is about Sister La'Nae Norwood and her friends and family, and the friends and family in the community in San Bernardino, which are not all black. They're all working together, and they're doing great positive things. But not to divert from that, but I just want to point out
we are
that
an exclusively African organization.
Okay, I commend that, and I want to. At this point, I actually want to join in with them, because I will say this on camera, that blacks need to start working like Asians and Jews. We should have been. We used to do it, but and then every time we did it, they blew our cities up. Rosewood, Black Wall Street, and many others that people don't know about. But I want to get this point across. I believe the city of San Bernardino and San Bernardino County is under the control of devil-worshipping people. And I do believe, and I'm going to acknowledge, they're white, but because the power structure is white. But the Hispanics have joined. Some Hispanics have joined them. There's no such thing as the blacks, the Hispanics, the whites. There's individuals from these groups, and I believe they're Satan and satanic, and I believe that they're experimenting and keeping the African community here, the black community here, down as much as possible. I'm gonna leave that there, but I want to get back to United Nations of Consciousness. What's SOS? I always wonder what that was.
SOS actually it has multiple meanings, but we adopted that activity in San Bernardino on the brink of all the killings that happened earlier this year. We saw a major shooting and stingers where 4 people were killed.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Numerous people were hit.
And they were all black males,
and they were all black males.
Killed by black males.
Well, actually, one was a black female, too, that got caught in the crossfire. And she actually got shot in the face, and she didn't get a lot of shine in mainstream media.
That's wrong.
And there was just a lot of gang activity that was cracking off at that time, and it was really self-destructive and counter-revolutionary.
Yeah.
And we just, a lot of us lost friends. We were all personally affected by that event, so we came up with SOS, which was a peace rally.
What does it stand for?
State of San Bernardino.
State of San Bernardino. So like the condition of San Bernardino. This is a difficult task she's taking on. Yeah. And I don't know her age, but I'm not going to ask her to say it, but it's up to her.
I'm 31.
All right, well, I'm 40, and I've been in this fighting in San Bernardino, even against my own family. My family's from IE Project, so like, I got family from Colton Crip, I got family from PPHG, but then I went to San Bernardino High, Pasadena High, and Dorsey High. I got family from the Swans, the Brims, I got family from Hoover, and so I never did Crip or Blood. I got a brother that's a Crip. All my cousins is Bloods, except my other side that's Crip. And unlike the others, I had something within me because of my upbringing that I couldn't do it. Now, I got in a situation where my mom is blind. She had some bad problems. I got in the streets. I started making my money. Doing things that I had to do, what I'm saying?
When you're in a society that doesn't give you opportunity or access
only to options of evil.
So what are you going to do? You're going to go hustle. I mean, we've all been there. I've been there. I grew up in 30s and 60s in LA and around gang members. But the thing that people don't realize is that these organizations, Blood and Crip, were originally community-based outreach organizations to uplift and strengthen our people, not to tear us down and become slaughtering fields for the young black men.
Thank you for watching the Soul Ties Karmic Recall episodes. So tune in for part 2 of the talk. And remember, check for more on YouTube at Soul Ties Karmic Recall. And go to SoulTiesKarmicRecall.com for the book series and MLCGC video tutorials.